What's going on there, Workforce? Chris here with Work to Game, and today we're going to be going over the Duty Finder tab. What is it, how to use it, and kind of just making sure that you're absolutely using this as much as possible to be as powerful as possible to help you find parties, level faster, get to the content you want to get to. So let's jump in. So we're here in game, and the first thing you might notice when you log in is a recommendations tab pops up. I have since closed that. The way you get back to that is you go over to this duty tab. Recommendations can pop right back up. There it is. That's what it recommends I do based on the character I'm logged in. You have your key items, your journal, which is your quest log, and if we continue moving down the duty tab, you have the duty recorder, which is fantastic if you're trying to record dungeon guides, etc. Hall of the Novice, which is something you absolutely should be doing at least for one tank, one healer, one DPS if you aren't familiar with those. If not, you should at least be doing it for one class because it gives you an item to help you level faster. Timers is how you can see what is going on as far as what is locked out. But what we're here to talk about today is the Duty Finder. I have it bound to you. Now, the Duty Finder has a lot of tabs in it. The first here is going to be your Duty Roulette. This is the best way to get experience, period. It is so easy. It is to the point. If you are anything but DPS, this is the best way to get experience. And that does not mean this is the fastest way to get experience, the fastest way to level, though it has to be up there. There are things like Palace of the Dead and all of that, but what is good about this is that endgame is centered around dungeons, and this is dungeons. So you are learning the game. If you are learning your class, you are learning it in the proper context. So do the ones you can. Do them at least once a day, as often as you can do them, especially this leveling roulette right here. This one gives you a ton of experience for the first time of the day. Now, you may also notice there is a set of up arrows, and they are telling you, hey, there's added experience, cash, and seals. Wow, what is this for? Well, that is for your adventure and need, and that is because something is slowing down the queue, right? We need one tank, we need one healer, and we need some DPS. Well, something is making that process slow down, and there are people waiting who are waiting on one person, and that one person in this case is a tank. The queue is slow because there is not enough tanks, and so they are going to give you that bonus there. So if you don't care kind of which of several jobs takes your leveling roulette for the day, that might be a good way to decide it, though if you only go by that, you probably will never get to level your DPS. Now, if you need a dungeon manually, you can come in here and you can queue for it as you so choose. They're separated by level, and so this is a good way to kind of guarantee that you get in one that you may need for a quest, or you may need if you just are trying to get dungeon experience and you've already used up your roulettes for the day. This will get you into the highest level dungeon you can. If you don't like the highest level, you can drop to the second highest level, and so you can kind of pick in here. I know a few of you are kind of cringing at the thought of doing Cutter's Cry. I tanked that for my first time today, and that is a lot of trash. So then we move into Guild Hess. This is going to run off pretty quick because they really didn't continue adding to these after level 40, but it's a great way to level up your really low classes, kind of at least get into that 30 range and unlock that job. And then we talk about trials. These are short fights. You get a great amount of experience from them relative to the amount of time you spend in there. Trials are going to have a huge role when you start to talk about level 50 and level 60. But if you are kind of, as you can see, the class I'm logged on at the moment is in the 40s, and so I really don't have access to the vast majority of these tabs yet. As we get into raids, these are going to be tied to where the story really capped out. This is end game content. So end game content means you're going to have to be at least level 50, so I'm just not there yet. And so you'll notice that this Duty Finder tab in general is going to become a lot more powerful as you hit level 50, and then at each of the steps beyond that, 60 and 70, and then of course as we move into future expansions, 80 and so on. PvP here, you can get into this as early as level 30. There really isn't any reason to be higher level than that if you're just trying to play PvP with this game. Once you are level 30, you can get experience from this. So if you just want a break from everything, going into this is absolutely a fun thing to do. And then Golden Saucer, this is how you queue for Triple Triad and things like that. I would love to see them expand this to better engage with things like Chocobo racing and so on. But Triple Triad has since moved into this kind of battle hall, and you can get there. I mean, if I queue for this, and I select this, it should pretty much queue instantly. It's gonna just like that, it's going to toss me in there. I'll wait, let it expire. Man, that timer's gonna drive me nuts. And so when you withdraw, you will notice that it says withdrawing from a duty 3 times a day, whether it be via the withdrawal button or allowing the timer remote, will result in a penalty. So don't do this all the time. It will count against you. And so keep in mind when you're in a group that, you know, you kind of want to all be ready. You don't want to keep withdrawing from that. So that is the Duty Finder tab. And so the only thing I want to add on to that is if you guys are having trouble finding something that is not in the Duty Finder tab. I just went over all that and you're saying, but how do I find a treasure map group? How do I find a group that wants to go off and do some specific form of content? Run Palace of the Dead the way I want to do it. You'll actually jump over to Party for that, and you'll jump over to Party Finder. Now, Party Finder is kind of an extension of the Duty tab in a way the Duty tab never could be. This is where you find that people are running things, and they may say, hey, we're new, or hey, we're looking for somebody that's really good at this. So, you know, I'm clearing ARR side of content for the first time. Can you give me a hand? You know, would be happy to do unsynced. You know, so this is a great way to go in and you can recruit members for things. You can jump in and you can see kind of what all is going on. This is a great way to line up for Eureka prior to going in. So the Party Finder tab is an awesome way to line yourself to go towards a piece of content that isn't so common that it could be made into a Duty Finder tab. So let's just click on one of these and see. For a friend, first timers welcome, right? So they're gonna go do the Jade Stoa and they're saying, hey, we've got room for 1 tank and we're just carrying along a friend, would be happy for you to join us. That is that easy. Over here it says they're gonna be talking in English. So that could not be an easier tab to get involved in as you start to get more advanced in the game. But the Duty Finder is your friend. Doing those roulettes is one of the most important things you can do to feel progress towards the game. You're going to need it for tomes down the road. It's going to just make you a better player if you engage with that content as early as you are comfortable. So this has been Chris with Work to Game. I hope that makes you a little more comfortable with that. If you have any other questions on any of the other tabs or menus or anything else going on in the game, definitely let us know in the comments section below. We'll try to make a guide if it's not a question that we can just answer right then and there. Final Fantasy has a fantastic community in that they are always there to support and help people along the way. I very rarely run into somebody that's truly toxic or truly doesn't want to engage with you because you're new or because you're learning. As long as you're making that effort and you're polite, it really will go a long way, and that is one of the things I appreciate most about this community. So thanks again, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.
Sup, guys?
Nice shirt.
Oh, man.
You think I could get one like that?
Well, you can get definitely a shirt like this. You can check out the red mage right here. This was a limited run shirt, and we actually have more limited run shirts right now. This month, we're focusing in on Dragoon. Other months, who knows? So it depends on when you see this video, what the shirt of the month would be. The link is definitely in the description, Chris. So if you want to go, support the channel and actually get something cool to wear and rep the channel, all the more power to you.
I just might do that.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Buy a shirt.